Picture this. I'm tossing a ball to my rescue dog, Rusty, in my front yard, his tail wagging like crazy. Then Karen, the HOA president, struts up, clipboard blazing, saying Rusty's barking offends the neighborhood. Next thing I know, my pup's poisoned, fighting for his life. Hurting my best friend? That's not just cruel. It's a full-blown declaration of war. So the whole neighborhood rallied to fight back. Guess who had to face a yard full of angry pet lovers demanding justice? Karen thought she could break me and walk off smug. She didn't know she'd messed with the wrong guy. I didn't just save Rusty. I turned our pain into a community uprising she couldn't stop. You're not going to believe how this played out. Karen figured she could poison my dog and slink away clean. She had no clue I'd unite the block, flip her own rules, and make her the villain of her own story. This story starts with a vicious act, twists through a bold stand, and lands with a victory so sweet you'll be cheering. Stick around, because Karen's about to choke on the justice she tried to dodge. Let's set you down in Willow Creek, a cozy Illinois suburb where old pines shade neat lawns. Kids ride scooters till dark. Porches hum with tales older than the mailboxes. I'm a retired electrical engineer, 65, more at home fixing circuits than shaking hands at HOA potlucks. A year ago, I adopted Rusty, a scrappy rescue mutt with a crooked grin and a heart bigger than my yard. He wasn't just a pet. He was my buddy, my shadow, chasing balls, napping by my roses, bringing light after my wife passed. Her laugh was my compass. Rusty was my joy. Every wag was her warmth. Every bark was my pride. A bond I'd guard with my life. Willow Creek wasn't all sunshine. New money rolled in. McMansions popped up like weeds. Their gates gleamed brighter than their souls. Enter Karen, HOA president, the self-crowned queen of Willow Creek Estates. She ruled with a clipboard sharper than her perm. She didn't manage. She crushed. Her bylaws choked anything free. Wrong mailbox hue? A $300 fine. Too loud crickets? Warning letter. Clara, my neighbor, got a $400 hit for a gaudy birdbath. It had a turtle, big deal. Karen's patrols were clockwork. Her SUV cruised at dawn. Her clipboard snapped like a trap, sniffing out joy like a hound on a scent. Willow Creek Estates wasn't a community. It was her fiefdom. Neon notices were her whip. Her smug grin was a wall nobody dared climb. Rusty was her obsession. Playing legally in my yard, zone free, he barked. No HOA rule touched him. I kept low, tossing balls days, tinkering nights. No fuss. Folks knew me as the dog guy, not a rebel. I liked watching Rusty run, my wife's spirit in his bounce. Clara brought biscuits, loving his tricks, griping Karen's fines. Her mailbox took a $350 hit for chipped blue. Jamal, the local carpenter, cursed a $450 smoke fine. His grill was poetry. Rosa, whose roses bloomed like a dream, paid $500 for excessive petals. Petals? I'd chuckle, knowing my permits outranked Karen's pen. I'd wired grids tougher than her. A clipboard was a toy, but Karen's eyes locked on Rusty. She called him a nuisance once. Her sneer cut deeper than a blade. Nuisance? He was my family, my heart. I defend him with every wire in my soul. She sent warnings. Pet disturbance. Public annoyance. I fired back with bylaws. Council nods, all clean. Karen didn't care. Her notices stacked up. Each was a jab, dare me to swing. I filed them, engineers calm holding. Trace the fault, don't spark. But her complaints grew nastier. Her threats sharpened, muttering bans and worse. To her, I wasn't a neighbor. I was a holdout. Rusty, my wife's gift, was her target, one she'd break till he was gone. Karen's war kicked off with a snap. A neon notice was taped to my gate. Her HOA seal glared like a summons. She didn't knock. She barged, standing on my lawn like she owned my pup. Your dog's barking is offensive, she said, flipping her clipboard with a nail sharp as her smirk. It's ruining our community's peace. Peace. Rusty's yips were legal, zoned free since I moved in, softer than her leaf blower. I leaned on the porch, sipping coffee, and slid my paperwork over. City stamped, bulletproof. Not your lawn, Karen, I said, voice flat as a breaker box. It's my family. Her lips twitched. Her eyes glinted like a coyote eyeing a bone. Lawns don't run Willow Creek, she purred, venom in her latte-sipping grin. Rules do. Rules bite. Bite? That wasn't a chat. It was a gauntlet. I peeled the notice. Scout's growl matched my gut. I figured she'd back off. No chance. By week's end, notices piled. Printed, official, absurd. Pet nuisance for $100 fine. Noise violation, $300. Community discord, $500. Discord? Rusty's barks were quieter than her holiday inflatables. I filed them, instincts humming. Log default, don't spark. But Karen wasn't tossing darts. She was wiring a shutdown. She crashed my evening walk. Rusty's tail wagged. Her SUV parked like a barricade. Clara weeded nearby. Jamal fixed a gate. Rosa watered roses. Karen ignored them, zeroing on me. Her clipboard tapped like a gavel. "That much tanking our property values," she said, voice dripping scorn. "Cage it, or we act." Act. My yard wasn't her kennel. I tossed Rusty's ball, cool as a fuse. "Permits are clean, Karen. You got no shot." Her grin turned icy. She wasn't debating. She was ordering. Clara whispered, "She's poison." Jamal nodded. "Find my grill, $450 for smoke." Smoke? Karen's eyes dare me to swing. Then it hit. A Tuesday, I found Rusty limp, vomiting in the grass. The vet's words crushed me. Poison, deliberate. My blood boiled. Engineers don't short. We rewire. Karen thought she'd won, but her venom had just tripped a switch she couldn't cut. Karen's attack didn't just hurt. It shattered my soul. Poisoning Rusty wasn't a jab. It was a full-on assault, targeting my best friend like he was trash. The fines didn't pile. They choked. Each was a brasher lie. Aggressive animal. $800 fine. Aggressive? Rusty chased balls, not people. Public hazard, $700. His wags were softer than her gossip. Then came property damage, $1,000, claiming his paw prints tank curb appeal. Appeal? Neighbors tossed him treats, not her lies. I locked them in my safe, instinct screaming. Build a circuit, don't fry. But Karen wasn't playing. She was destroying. Rusty was her prey. I sniffed a scam. Years wiring systems taught me to spot faults. I checked my yard. Fences were tight, no violations. But signs grew. Clara caught Ted, Karen's lackey, scoping my gate. "Ted's for a survey," she hissed. But he had a bag. Bay. Jamal saw Bar with a contractor, Karen's inspector, packing a phone. Inspector? More like a thug. I dusted Rusty's bowl. Strange powder. Enough to flag. Rosa tipme. Karen's at the coffee shop, crowing. "Dog's done, town's clean." Clean? This wasn't a fine. It was murder. Rusty, my heart, my fight was her target. That Tuesday, I sat by Rusty's vet bed. He whimpered, fighting. Rage roared, but I thought of my wife. "Shine, don't curse." I hit the county code. Pet, potet, no huaban. Inspiration struck. Why mourn alone when I could rally the block? Big, ide wirat bulde grits. I planned a neighborhood watch. Pet safety meetings open to all, right in my yard. I moved quiet. Flyers printed. Cameras set. Emma, my lawyer pal, was on speed dial. Karen's fines were flimsy. HOA couldn't ban gatherings. State law backed me. I'd rally first, fight later, letting her strut into my trap. Clara's tip came through. Karen's HOA meeting, her stage to gloat. I lined up flyers, Emma's notes, Jamal's photos. Ted's text read, "Fines piling, boss thrilled." Thrilled? Not for long. Karen thought she'd won. Her perm was a crown. I was the spark. This wasn't a fight. It was a stand, and her block was about to roar. Willow Creek woke to whispers. Neighbors buzzed. Rusty's poisoning was the talk of the town. I stood by my lawn, his leash in hand. My blood surged like a live wire. Faces turned. Clara's eyes popped. "You that dog guy?" Jamal grinned. "Knew you would fight." Karen's HOA cronies, parked nearby, froze. Ted's coffee hit the dirt. Barb's yapper choked mid-yap. Karen lounged by her gate, latte in hand. Her smirk faded. She hadn't known. She hadn't dreamed the guy she'd targeted was about to unite the block against her. I paced my yard. Fine stacked. Karen's hazard email stung like a frayed cord. Her complaints were fraud. No HOA could ban pets. Laws shielded Rusty. Then Jamal dropped a bomb. Doggone, peace save. She framed Rusty as filth to proper clean town cred. Peace. My gut roared. Engineers don't flinch. We search. I scoured records. Karen's bylaws, pinned solo, had no votes. Fraud, bold as her perm. I dug deeper. Emma pulled HOA files. $40,000 in fines. No receipts. Funneled to Karen's cousin's consulting scam. My watch was bulletproof, untouchable. Then the twist. Saturday dusk, my yard bloomed. Chairs, signs, neighbors galore. Our pet safety watch kicked off. Protect our pals. Justice for Rusty. I shared tips, past biscuits. 50 showed up, then 100, then 300. Comments flew. This is right. Karen's cruel. Karen flipped. Her ex-post whined about a pet mob. Mob? I'd wired her trap. Our watch grew. Her lies were exposed. Karen's meeting loomed. Her stage to spin lies. I rolled in, flyers ready. My sign was lit. Paws unite, justice stays. She'd lose it, clueless, expecting cheers. I stacked attendance stats. Emma's suit. Trespass, fraud, cruelty. Clara's tip came through. Ted's text read, "Dog's done. Boss thrilled." Thrilled? Not for long. Karen's ex-post crowed. Willow Creek's pure. Pure. She'd poison my heart. I was the signal. This wasn't a fight. It was a roar. And her block was about to stand. Willow Creek's HOA hall was a battlefield. Chairs were stuffed. 2,500 neighbors were crammed in. The air crackled like a storm about to burst. Karen stormed to the podium. Her perm was a fortress. She gloated like she'd crushed her foes. "We're saving Willow Creek," she crowed. Rusty's fines were her trophy. A slide slammed him as a public menace. "Standards," she preached. "Standards?" She'd poison my soul. Neighbors stirred. Clara's fists balled. Rosa's eyes burned. Jamal leaned forward, jaw set. Karen's smirk was steel. She thought she'd own the block. She spun lies. Rusty was dangerous. A blight tanking values. Half nodded, conned. Half seethed, smelling rot. Ted tossed HOA rules flyers. Floors ate them like dust. Karen glowed. "We've cleansed Willow Creek." Cleansed? My move. I rose, flyers in hand. My sign blazed. "Pause unite, justice stays." My voice was low, like a bark rising. "Karen, got a vet bill to share?" She froze. Her latte splashed. She expected cheers. Rosa hissed. Bite her back. I hit the projector. The screen lit up with my yard. 600 neighbors, signs high, chanting for Rusty. Footage rolled. Karen's fines, no vote. Her smirk as she slapped penalties. Then my count. 100, then 300, then 1,000 rallied. The crowd roared. Jamal bellowed. "Monster!" Karen's face drained. "It's fake." I clicked. Linda's USB showed Karen's email. "Find the dog." No debate. Clara's clip played. Karen's ex-post. "What's crushed town's mine. Trespass, fraud, cruelty." I tossed him his suit. $150,000 damages, illegal fines. Our watch was legal. Case 2025, WC 101, you're done. She choked. Values. Cops rolled in. My call from dawn. Sheriff Klein stepped up. Cuffs gleamed. "Karen, you're under arrest." Click. Cuffs snapped on her. Ted Barb. They were dragged through jeers. Karen wailed. "You can't." We did. The hall erupted. Cheers, fists high. Jamal hugged Rosa. Clara's laugh was wild. Linda yelled. "HOA's done." The vote was unanimous. Bylaws were torched. Karen's crown was ash. Our watch was the flame. Rosa's clip hit 70 million views. Neighbors chanted, "Justice." I stood by my sign. Rusty's heart was alive in their roar. Willow Creek wasn't hers. It was ours. Truth was the brightest bark. Karen's cuffs didn't just clip her ego. They burned her empire. Willow Creek roared. Neighbors spilled into the streets. They hugged, laughed. Clara tossed biscuits like confetti. Deputies hauled Ted out. His strut was crushed. Karen sobbed. "It's a setup." Setup? Her crimes told the truth. The DA piled on. Trespass, fraud, animal cruelty. Charges stacked like bricks. My suit gutted her HOA. $200,000 in fines. No votes. Pure scam. Money funneled to her cousin's consulting racket. No receipts. Karen's lackey flipped. He named 70 scams. Dog sheds all fined. All tied to her sister-in-law's Creek Realty. Clara's fence, hit in 22, wasn't unsafe. Barb's text brag. Paid off. Rosa's roses, fine last spring, were the same game. 100 neighbors spoke. X exploded. Hashtag Creek Justice spiked to 80 million posts. Tales spread from Florida to Maine. The council froze her accounts. $30 million was seized. Her gazebo was bulldozed. Her realty was a front for scams. Karen faced 25 years. Her plea died when Barb spilled $700,000 in inspector bribes. Karen's name was on each. Willow Creek didn't gawk. CNN ran Rusty's revenge. We walked, laughed, moved on. The HOA collapsed. The board bailed. Bylaws burned. Neighbors raided the office. They unearthed $20 million in fines. Karen's piggy bank for vacations, funded by Clara's birdbath, Rosa's tulips. Leela to vote. New council, no fines, just trust. Karen's standards? Smashed. Our watch shone. Clara clapped my shoulder. Your wife would be proud. Proud? I felt her, urging me to fight on. Willow Creek didn't just heal. It roared. Our pet watch, now 100 strong, packs my yard every Saturday. We share tips, toss balls, no fines, all pride. Neighbors pitch in. Clara brings treats. Rosa sets signs. Jamal prints flyers. Hank adds grit. It's not a yard. It's us. Unbowed. The watch is a beacon. Folks join from across town. Their cheers warm my soul. Karen? She's a ghost. Her curtains stay shut. I catch her peeking at her crowd. My yard hosts joyful mornings. Kids play with pups. Strangers walk dogs. Iston op dusk. Rusty's tail thumps. My wife's love burns bright, fiercer than ash. Justice isn't loud. It's a bark, a town that stands firm. Got an HOA horror story? A Karen who tried to break your heart? Drop it in the comments. Share your wildest clash where you're watching from. I read every one, hungry for your fire. Did this fight light you up? Smash that like. It's wiring truth to the grid. Share with your crew, neighbors, even the guy with the loud truck. New here? Subscribe, hit the bell. We're chasing more wins, laughs, and grit. I want you in the pack. Thanks for standing with me in Willow Creek. Keep shining, fighting, crushing nonsense. Catch you next. Stay tough, stay true.